everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, today we are creating another Halloween card. And yesterday I had created a card using the pumpkins and the Halloween city holiday decorations. Now this die set is made to go with the city holiday house. Okay, you can see here. You can decorate it for Halloween, but it's also really great on its own. Yesterday, again, I had made a card using the pumpkins that were so cute. And today we're going to make a card with a ghost on it. So we'll be using this, and then also using the Happy Halloween sentiments. This was designed by Yana Smakula too. Both of these were. And then I'm also bringing in a new emboss and cut folder set. It's called Scalloped Frames. Now, Spellbinders had came out with one that's similar to this. I had created like a magnet card. I'll link that video at the end in case you missed it. It was a Christmas card. And today I thought we would use this to create a Halloween card. Okay, so we're just going to jump in and get started. First, we're going to do our die cutting. I always like to do die cutting first. There's so many cute little things in here, and the ghosts in here are just adorable. So I'm going to bring in some white cardstock, and we're going to cut out 2 ghosts. And then while we're at it, we're also going to die cut out 3 of these cute little spider webs. I'm going to use black cardstock. So that's all the die cutting we're doing with our Halloween city holiday decorations. Now I'm going to bring in the scalloped frames. And you could, for this card today, you could use either of these. Okay, or you can create your own frame. If you have some oval dies, you can do the same exact thing. But this is neat because you can put these inside of the embossing. Let's see. I think we can put these over here on this side. You can add your dies to the embossing folder, and then you can emboss and cut at the same time. Let me do both of these so you can see. You could do 2 at one time. Maybe I need to flip this around. Okay, you just add these here and here, and then you bring. I'm gonna emboss with some. I'm gonna emboss using my fairy tale cardstock. Let me bring in a longer piece. Let me trim down a piece here. Okay. I'm going to place, this is fairy tale cardstock. It's a very pale purple, but I'm just going to layer this here, and then I'm going to flip the top over. Actually, this is the bottom. And then I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, like so. I'm bringing in my die cutting machine, okay? And I'm going to use, I'm using my 3D, let's see. Now I'm using the 3D sandwich, which is this one right here. So all I need is the base plate, and then I'm going to put my embossing folder in here, carefully, you don't want it to shift. And then I'm going to use my D adapter plate for this. Okay, and then I just run it through. Sorry about the shaky camera. I knew that was going to happen. Usually that's why I don't emboss on camera, because my camera is attached to my desk and it does shake. But let me show you. Let me just flip this around. And when you open it up, this is what this looks like. It's so, so pretty. Look how pretty these are. Aren't they just gorgeous? I just love that. So you can emboss and cut at the same time. The nice thing too is if you don't add the middle piece, you can create, you know, if you don't add the middle piece, you can still emboss the inside too, which is really nice. There's so many options with this. Okay, I'm also going to, I'm not using this one today. I'm going to use the oval one. So I'm going to take the oval die and cut out a background with the purple also. Okay, and then I'll do the rest of my die cutting. I'll be right back. Now my die cutting is all done. Okay, we are going to do a little ink blending on these, but I'm going to die cut out one more thing. And this die I think you guys are going to fall in love with. Spellbinders a while ago had came out with the Just Add Cake birthday kit, and there was an add-on to that kit that was the color block arches. So fabulous. Well, Spellbinders now has a rectangle die set that's the same style. Okay, and then this is the color block accent rectangles. Okay, so it creates like a checkered pattern if you layer it on some cardstock. Now this will go perfectly with the Spellbinders Precision Layering A2 die set. This is set A. They have set A and set B. It'll go perfectly with set A. Okay, so if you want to line this up with these, you can. In fact, I think every other one you skip so you can do some matting. So these two go great together. But I'm just going to take the largest and I'm going to die cut this out with some white cardstock. Now this is not an A2 panel. This is actually 4.5 inches by 5 3/4. It's a little bit larger than A2. I find when I die cut this out with a little bit larger cardstock, I can get it straighter. So I'll run this through my die cut machine and I'll be right back. And there we go. You see the checkers on the end? Creates a really fun pattern. So this will fit an A2 panel beautifully. You can see it goes edge to edge on an A2. It creates a really neat effect. In fact, this is Spellbinders Plum. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the plum cardstock. This is going to be my background. Now that's good to go. Okay, now I'm also taking some peridot cardstock. I think purple and green just go fabulous together. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And I'm going to trim this down to a panel that measures, let's see, we'll go 3 inches. 3 inches by 4 1/4. Okay, so now we have a panel that's 3 inches by 4 1/4. Now let's do some ink blending. Now for my frame, and you know what? Instead of a purple background, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to die cut out the background. I was going to create a shaker today, and I thought, you know what? Instead of a shaker, I thought maybe a mirror, so it looks like a wall mirror. I want to bring in some of my silver mirror cardstock. I'll just line this up, and then I'll die cut out some silver mirror. We'll turn this into a mirror, like a wall mirror. I'll be right back. Okay, we are good to go now. Now we're going to do some ink blending. I'm going to ink blend on these two. Okay, first let's add some purple. I'm using my orchid ink. I'm going to add it to the frame here. I'm just going to go over the entire frame. I'm going to bring in my black ink. This is intense black ink. And I'm going to bring in my blending brush here. And then I'm going to go over the edges of my fancy frame. We're going to spooky it up with black. I'm going to keep this ink out, and then I'm going to bring in some green ink, and we're going to do some inking on the edge of this panel. I have my artichoke ink. I'm using my blending brush. I'm going to go around the edge here. I picked up a little bit of the black, and that's okay. Now, I'm bringing back my black ink here, and we're going to go around the edge of this. Okay, lovely. I think that looks nice and spooky. Okay, now after I have this done, what we're going to do is crinkle it. We're going to just crinkle it. You're going to go, what is he doing? I would like to surprise you guys, but I think the outcome's going to turn out really neat. Okay, just crinkle it, break the fibers in the paper. Okay, kind of flatten it. Let me clean off my work surface. Okay, one thing you can say about my channel is I never surprise you. I mean, one thing you can say about I mean, I probably always surprise you guys, right? Okay, now after I have this done, I'm bringing in my ink. This is a pigment ink. It's called Unicorn from Hero Arts. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over this with that. To me, this kind of gives it an extra, just extra spidery, Halloween-y look. I just like the way that looks. I think that's going to be fabulous. I'm going to go ahead and take this, using my tape runner. I'm going to adhere this to my card base. We're going to just center it. Wipe my hands off because they are pretty inky. Okay, and then in the meantime, we're going to create our mirror. Okay, I am going to flip this over and put foam tape behind here. And then we're just going to layer this right over our silver mirror. The ghosts have the eyes popped out, and you know what I like to do? I like to bring in my black foam squares and add them behind the back here. We're actually going to add 2. Okay, and then I'll do the same with this one. And then we're going to add our ghost in the mirror, like so. Okay, now we're going to do our greeting. I'm going to bring in my better press. You can foil this too. I think the foiling one, actually, should we foil? I haven't foiled in a long time. Maybe I should foil with silver foil. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, let me bring in my glimmer machine. Okay. Okay, this may take a little while to warm up. So in the meantime, I'm going to pick out a greeting. Actually, in the meantime, I'm gonna foil all of my greetings at once. There's 4 greetings in this set, and this is called Happy Halloween Sentiments. I'm gonna foil all of them, although I'm just gonna use Happy Halloween for my card today, but it's always great to have extras. I'm gonna trim, I'm using my silver foil. I had a smaller roll on the inside, and foil face down, and then I have my cardstock, and then I'm just going to roll this up. I think this roll here may be the roll that my foil machine came with. That's how that's how old my foil is. But I think the silver foil will go really well with the mirror. In the meantime, I'm gonna, while this is still heating up, okay, what I'm gonna do is take some of those black foam squares, and I love that the spider web has a solid center. I just love that because this way we can pop it up with a foam square. Okay, I'll go ahead and add foam square behind here. I went ahead and pushed my timer, so this is already heating up. And in the meantime, I'm gonna bring in some splatter. Spellbinders has some brand new Gold Rush splatter. I'm gonna shake this up and we're gonna add this to our panel here. My timer stopped. I'm running behind. Let's add some gold splatter here. Wow, I'm loving the way that looks. The Gold Rush, this is brand new too. This is pretty amazing. Look at that. My timer went off, but I think that looks pretty awesome. Okay, I'm gonna take this to my die cut machine and I'll be right back. Okay, let's take a look. It's been a minute since I foiled. Let's go ahead and remove the foil. And you know, I think that's too light. Okay, so silver's out. I think that's too light. Let me bring in my black. Let's do black instead. Okay, let's take a look. I think I could have just better pressed and it would, you know, I didn't realize how fine these were. These are so beautiful and fine. Okay, I just love that. So black it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put this off to the side. And then we'll use the coordinating dies, and I'll just go ahead and cut these out. Okay, my greeting's all done, and I think my splatter is dry. You know, it dries pretty fast, which is lovely. Okay, now we're gonna add our mirror. I did put adhesive behind the back. We're just gonna tack this right here in the middle. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my Happy Halloween here. And then we can add our spider webs. I'm going to add one up here. We'll do a little tucking and add one over here. Then I'll add one down here. Okay. Next we need some bells and whistles. And I'm going to bring in some gems here. I have my Spellbinders Prism gems. Prism has a purple tone to it. And I think it'll be perfect to put the larger one in the middle of my spider webs. And I'm just going to add the 3 here and here. Lovely. And that will finish off my card today. Another fun Halloween card. Really fun crinkling that paper. It gives it a really fun distressed texture, so give it a try. But thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.